Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willow Journals. Welcome back to my channel. I thought it would be fun to share a combined op shop haul that I got from this year or throughout this year. I do share op shop hauls each time I get one over on my Patreon, but I thought I'll do a new tradition. At the end of every year I will do a combined op shop haul share. So it won't show everything, of course, because some of the things I have already turned into journals or cut up and used in projects or given away, and so I can't share those things, but I do have quite a lot to still share with you. First of all, I'll show you some of the journals that I have made using book covers that I got from op shops, or books that I've stripped for the covers. So this is one that I made for me, a vintage book, The Heroes. Love how it turned out. I just put a library card at the front and stuck the inscription or dedication on the back, and then I've just got a whole bunch of plain pages for me, because that's how I like to use my journals, with a blank canvas to add my own photos and ephemera and writing to the pages. So I love this cover. I just couldn't part with it. I just thought it was so lovely. And yeah, I hope this little video also helps show what I look for at op shops. So vintage books, definitely. I also got this one. This one was actually in a free box, and because it had a rip in the cover, but I just repurposed that, stuck it back together, and this is my reading journal that you've seen me work in throughout the year. So this has been a very fun journal to use, and I love that I can just use something that came from an op shop. This is another one that I've turned into a journal. This one is in my shop. Oh, and the freebies, the extra goodies are spilling out. And this one is just using this gorgeous embossed cover, and love how this turned out. I also have my own cover, a twin one of this that I'm keeping for me, a nice small journal. I do have this one that I haven't turned into a journal yet, but I just love the color of it, that teal color, and I'm thinking I'm going to use this to use all my treasures in. So my vintage wallpapers, ledgers, and pretty things I thought I would use for this, and you can see what color I like. This is all the ones I'm keeping for me, my version of that one, and as well this one. So this is another journal that I have made using a book that I got from an op shop. I just liked the large size, the blue cover. I'll cover that with something eventually, not sure what yet. But this is my altered book journal that I have been using for the Anchor journal course for the first half, and then the second half I've been using for my reflections journal course. So I just love how this one has turned out as well. So yeah, there's a look at some of the books that I have already been working with, and then here are some other books that I picked up that I am going to be keeping for me, I think. I'm not sure. I just fell in love with them and I've just fallen in love this year with vintage books to use as journals, and to display in my room. And I just absolutely fell in love with the covers. I thought this one I could dedicate to a journal about family, with my siblings and pets and things and growing up. And 1959, I love the inscriptions, I always keep those. But I thought I would maybe use it as an altered book, or I might strip the pages and put my own pages in there. I'm not sure. That's why I haven't stripped these yet, because I'm thinking maybe an altered book would be fun. I've never done an altered book in this size journal. And this one, I wasn't particularly fussed about the cover, but I fell in love with this. Oh, I love this image so much. Oh my goodness. And again, it could inspire me. It reminds me of the farm that we would visit on family holidays, and that reminds me of me, at the gate of the farm. So, I don't know, I was just thinking these could be wonderful altered book journals to maybe start my visual memoirs in that art journal style, to practice for the book that I'll be working on next year, with that course I'm doing. So yeah, I really wanted to use these as altered art journals, visual memoirs, something like that for me to practice in and write my story in there, write my stories. So that's fun. 2 other books are these ones here. I always look for vintage French books. So yeah, vintage books, vintage French is a theme I absolutely love. And these are pages that I just use in my vintage French journals. Also, I can use them to collage with and to make tags out of, tag bases, journal card bases, that kind of thing. And this one here, I love getting vintage French books that are more, you know, grammar books or vocabulary books, just because they're set out differently. They've got, instead of a big, huge block of text, it's nice to have different variety when you're flipping through the pages of a journal. And this one, I think it's like a play or something, so that's set out differently as well, which is really cool. And those are the 2 vintage French books I picked up. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And then we'll continue with the books. I got Alice in Wonderland, so there's a few books that I will get all the time if I see them, if they're in a style that I like. So one is Alice in Wonderland. I got this one because it had the illustrations, which are in the public domain. And I believe Alice in Wonderland, the whole story is in the public domain too. And I do have a printable with the illustrations and book pages in my Etsy if you're interested. It's also a freebie over on my Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee, since it is in the public domain. So I put it up everywhere so that people could access it however they want, as easy as possible. And I just love this image. Some of them I keep for me because this story, I grew up with it, watching the video, and there's something about that magic of the story, of imagination, wordplay, that really resonated with me as a kid because I had a very wild, active imagination, and the idea that flowers can talk and I don't know, a magical land that you can walk through, that really spoke to me. I'm just staring at this page because I think this could be a page I dedicate to Keanu. And yeah, it was kind of freaky but fun in the story, and I just love that she could eat and drink things and grow taller and shorter, and I love the layout of this. I think that will go in my own journal. I think in my new inspiration collage journal I will put some pages of Alice in Wonderland in it. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll do that with you guys. Alright, and the other books I should mention that I always pick up are The Secret Garden. That's another childhood favourite of mine. Again, I think it's just the magical land, the garden, that really resonated with me too, because as a kid, I guess, life was a bit hard at school, bullying, teasing, alienation, that kind of thing. And so my sanctuary was just to go into my own world, to have a world where it could be beautiful and magical and whimsical and my own creation, basically. And, you know, Wonderland for Alice, The Secret Garden for Mary Lennox. It just really resonated with me. Maybe I'll have to journal about that one day, maybe in that inspiration journal. This is another book that I look for. So other books I look for are floral books, and especially the ones that have illustrations. So this was a great find. I love this. It has so many pages with flowers, and I've already used a lot of pages from this book in some botanical garden journals that I've made. I just love it, because it doesn't just have herbs. Like some books only have the herbs, but this one has a lot of different flowers and plants and things. So I'm really interested in, you know, the flowers, the coloured flowers. Like, look at that. Oh, beautiful. My goodness, I love them so much. So always look for books like this. It's hit or miss. I don't usually find them, so when I do find them, I'm so excited. so excited. And I just love how there's so many pictures. Often you get books where there's only the first half is illustrations and the second half is like a glossary or an index or information about it, of how you can use it. And I'm like, no, just give me the flowers. I only want the flowers. So yeah, floral books are wonderful. I also look for sheet music whenever I go into op shops. Sheet music, vintage sheet music, music paper is one of my favourite pages to put in journals. So I've already ripped out some pages there. This one is a lovely big size, and so it's got that vintage look to it. And I love that some of them have illustrations up here like this. But yeah, I use these for everything. Pages in journals, backgrounds, bases for collaging, tags, journal cards. Yeah, I could even make some music paper pockets with these. That could be fun. Yeah, I think I might do that because there's so many pages in this, and it's a nice thick paper too. Some sheet music is really, really thin. And I just, yeah, love building up my collection of sheet music and having a variety of all different types of music paper. Isn't that wonderful? Oh my goodness. And then I also look for pattern pouches. I'm not sure if they have what's their proper name, but I just call them pouches because, you know, you can open them up and they've got the tissue paper and they've got the pattern instructions there. And I use all of that in journals. It's so wonderful for pages, for covers. I even like the idea of adding this. I always use these as covers, but I thought it would be so good to put this in a journal, maybe as a pocket in a journal, or even open it up and it's a page in a journal. So love that. I especially love all the outfits on this one. That one's drawing my eye, but they look like princess outfits. I love these princess gowns and things. So that's really fun. I might even, I don't know, cut that out and put that in my inspiration journal because I always loved dresses and designing dresses as well when I was a teenager. Maybe one day I'll share that with you. I've got like visual diaries and art books from throughout my life. And then here we have a doily collection. So this one I absolutely love because when I find unique doilies, it's always exciting. And it's this bell-shaped one. Isn't that awesome? I love it. Reminds me of Christmas. And then this one here, sort of more of an autumn feel to it. And this one came in a set. I do like it when you find ones that come in a set. And it had two small ones. I did part with one in a linen pack that I had available. Or it might still be available, you never know. But I would have shared that on my channel previously. And then this one's so adorable. This is part of my December linen kit in my Etsy. I scanned all of these ones here. And I love that one with the maiden and the dress and the flowers. And all my patrons get access to my printable kits as well. Isn't that beautiful? This one is gorgeous too. So yeah, these ones I all shared in that video where I was going through the linens in the kit for December. So, because this is the most recent bunch of linens that I got this year. And I keep looking out for them ready to make new packs. I just have to keep finding them until I have enough to make a pack. And beautiful. So yeah, I've got 11 packs in my Etsy now. Been collecting over the years and got so many beautiful linens. And eventually I will make journals out of them. That's my plan because I have so many. I've got a huge basket of them. I love this one so much. Oh my goodness, I might have to keep this one for me somehow. I just don't know how to use some of them when they're in a weird shape. Like, how do I actually use that? So that is absolutely stunning. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that is a little glimpse at what I got this year at Op Shops. Some other things that I can't show here that I've already used in journals are I got some vintage children's illustrated books that were farm animal journals, Peter Pan journals. I always like picking up fairy books and Disney princess books, so I made a whole bunch of journals out of those as well. And I think I had some other various linens and pouches, but turned these into journals as well, or parted with them in packs or something. So, but yeah, they're the main things I look for: books and pouches, linens, music paper. Stationery is another one I look for, and this year I've used it all as well. I picked up some packs of envelopes. I love using those as interactive elements in journals and as pocket pages. Note papers, I love finding those in op shops too. Exercise books, diaries, that kind of thing. I don't think I found too many of those this year, though. It's a bit hit or miss. That's the love of thrifting, is it's a treasure hunt. You just never know what you'll find. You might find nothing, or you might find absolute treasure. Anyway, so I hope this video was kind of helpful to show you what I look for. and fun. I know some of you like the op shop haul videos, and that's one of your video requests. So next year, stay tuned. At the end of the year, I'll share a combined op shop haul again. I'll do that every year. And over on my Patreon, each individual time I do an op shop haul, that's where I share them for them, so they get some extra little perks for being patrons. Alright guys, I hope you're doing really, really well, and let me know what wonderful treasures that you found this year, or what you look for when you go thrifting. I'd love to hear, and be sure to journal your life, because your stories matter. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys. A big thank you to my beautiful patrons who supported me in November. I hope you absolutely loved all of the extras this month. And if you would like to support me in December and get access to extra videos and printables, behind the scenes updates, and first access to any of my creations, the link is down below in the description box. The links are also down there to all of my journaling courses. The Reflections journaling course is running all through December if you would like to document your year for 2022. And if you would like to support my book fundraiser, the link is there to my GoFundMe page as well.